Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I thought I would take a second to pop into the Black Financial Channel and to talk to you guys about what's going on in financial markets in case you are an investor. I hope that you're an investor. If you're an investor, say something in the chat to let me know you're investing. Let me know how your investments have been doing this year because this has been a good year to invest despite some of the ups and downs and what seemed like crashes and things like that. This has been a good year to invest. And I want to say hello to everybody on theblackfinancialchannel.com. If you want to talk about financial topics and interesting topics that relate to making money and how all that works and what's going on in the financial markets, go to theblackfinancialchannel.com, theblackfinancialchannel.com. This is a YouTube channel we created to ensure that our community is first and foremost when it comes to talking about money and investing and all these other things. Part of the steps, or one of the steps toward economic intelligence and economic power, is to make economics one of the most important topics in your community. If you don't talk about money, then you won't learn about money. If you don't learn about money, you won't have any money. All right, so so here's the reason I decided to do this quick broadcast right as I'm getting ready to go watch Game of Thrones. I don't know if anybody else is a Game of Thrones fan besides me, but I did see kind of a calling card on Bitcoin. A lot of people are really psyched about Bitcoin right now. A lot of people are seeing Bitcoin making major financial moves. And Bitcoin actually this year has risen by about 60%. Now, a lot of you started investing in it, and I hope that you didn't walk away just because there was a crash, because markets crash all the time. And I mentioned to you guys when I talked to you guys about crypto a long time ago that there is long-term potential in blockchain, but you have to be a buy and hold long-term investor. You don't want to go into this game as a fly-by-night or Johnny-come-lately. As Warren Buffett always says, if you invest in anything, you should invest for 5 to 10 years. You shouldn't just hop in and hop out and all this other stuff. So this year, Bitcoin has really taken off. I noticed that. I kind of noticed that as well in my own portfolio. I don't just own Bitcoin. I own a lot of different cryptocurrencies. They tend to move as a herd. When there's a lot of money that goes into that industry, it kind of just affects everything and everyone. And so you're seeing a lot of money making opportunities right now over there. But diversification is the key. Now, I see some of your thoughts. Let's see. Larry says, what up, Doc? What's up, Doc? I invest in Acorns. Been good. Almost finished paying off my student loans. Good for you. Very smart man. Smart man. I was talking to our 12-year-old about her birthday, and she was asking me for all kinds of shoes and clothes and everything else. And I said, I'll get you the shoes and I'll get you the clothes, and that's fine. You deserve that because you're 12, and that's what 12-year-old girls think are important. But I need you to make an agreement with me. I need you to hear me when I talk to you about the stocks we're going to get for you and why that's important and what it means to own shares of stock, what it means to own assets. So we sat there at that table while we were waiting for our food to get there, and I explained to her what it means to own a percentage of a company. She picked out the company she wanted to own a percentage of, and we set all that up. So you want to have those conversations with the children in your house because that's going to make the difference for them long term. If you want black people to get ahead, if you want the black people in your house to get ahead, it's not that hard. There is no secret formula to being smarter than a white person or smarter than the competition. The secret formula is just do what you're supposed to do. Teach what you're supposed to teach. Focus on what you're supposed to focus on, and that's how you get your kids ahead. Now, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. I'm going to make this broadcast very, very quick because, as I said, I got some Game of Thrones to watch. It says Bitcoin prices have surged nearly 60% to about $6,000 after plunging almost 75% in 2018. Surely the cryptocurrency is still far from its all-time highs of just under $20,000, which it hit in December 2017. But crypto investors are increasingly optimistic that the Bitcoin bounce of 2019 is real and that it and other cryptocurrencies may enjoy a steady march higher. So again, crypto as an asset class, they tend to just sort of move in a herd. They move together. And so a lot of people are very optimistic, very excited about the possibilities that exist within crypto and Bitcoin. And really, if you look at it, even when Bitcoin wasn't doing that well, it was doing much better than it was, say, 3 years ago, before the first rush took off. So if you compare the price of Bitcoin now to what it was at its peak, then you say, oh my God, this is terrible, it's crashed, this is horrible. But if you compare to where it was before it went to the peak, then you say this is amazing. So even though I lost a big chunk of my money, I'm still doing pretty well because I'm doing much better than I was when I first started. Let's see. So it says it may be tempting to declare this year's Bitcoin rebound as another sign of investor insanity. Uh-oh, investors are doing it again. Cue the sounds of a bubble being inflated. All we're waiting for now is the inevitable poof as the bubble pops. But Bitcoin may finally be trading at an appropriate price. Bitcoin going legit. The key for Bitcoin going forward is for the gains to moderate a bit so history doesn't repeat itself. No one wants another bloodbath like 2018. A huge crash in 2018 was a correction after a speculative mania. Everybody was crazy about Bitcoin. People were borrowing on their credit card to buy Bitcoin. They were kind of doing all the stuff that I was telling you not to do. But, who listens to me? I mean, after all I have is a doctorate in finance. What do I know, right? And so ultimately, the key to investing is you got to think long term. That's really important. So Millman thinks that some traders are still buying Bitcoin because of hopes and dreams, but he's cautiously optimistic that the worst days for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are behind them. So why has Bitcoin bounced back so dramatically? Crypto investors increasingly believe that Bitcoin was oversold last year and is now becoming a legitimate investment for people looking to hedge the risk of currency and interest rate fluctuations. So they're saying that Bitcoin could be a good hedge for risk of currency fluctuations and interest rate fluctuations. So why does that matter? Well, I don't think that it's a coincidence that that you're seeing all this sort of go down right as Trump is in the middle of a trade war with China. I think the trade war with China, what that does is that creates a lot of uncertainty in the market. You don't know what Trump's going to do. You don't know what the Chinese are going to do. You don't know how the negotiations are going to work out. So you're having back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I believe that what happens is when there's a war, people they duck for shelter. The investors are kind of, we get hit by stray bullets and they say, well, where can we go? That's when they start investing in what they call the safe havens. They start running toward things like gold and commodities and other things that might protect them. The Japanese yen is considered to be a safe haven for various reasons that we won't go into now. But so they're saying that crypto could be just another place to retreat to, almost like if it's raining outside, you retreat to indoors. You don't care if it's a Walmart or a Walgreens or a grocery store, but you got to get out of the rain, right? You're welcome, Derek. I saw you said you wanted the wrench, so use that wrench responsibly. Don't hurt nobody with it. So long story short, apparently they're seeing crypto as is a place to retreat to in the event that you see chaos happening in the regular markets, which I think that makes sense. I think from a general diversification standpoint, that's why I invest in crypto, because it keeps me away from investing all my money in everything else. So why has Bitcoin bounced back so dramatically? Okay, let's see here. That could make Bitcoin, the fact that it's a safe haven now, could make Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies a solid bet for buy and hold investors over the long haul, and not just short-term traders looking for a quick pop in price. The selling in Bitcoin got exhausted last year, and people started to come back in around 4,000, said Tyrone Ross, managing partner with Noble Bridge Wealth Management. You are now starting to see more people cite Bitcoin as a credible asset that you can use to diversify your portfolio. People are looking at Bitcoin as a type of digital gold. That's debatable. There are a lot of experts who say, no, it's not gold. It's not the same as gold. But then again, what made gold gold? That, Bitcoin, what Bitcoin does is Bitcoin causes you to question everything, right? People say, well, Bitcoin's not real. It's not a real currency. Well, if you look at the nature of currency, most currency isn't real. Even if you look at gold and you say, well, why is it that gold is valuable? Why is gold a safe haven? Like who decided that gold was important? Why don't we use copper as a safe haven? Why isn't paper a safe haven? Why is it gold? What is there inherently about gold that makes it more valuable than other commodities? Well, we just kind of decided that, right? So with crypto, we've just decided that it has value, and where a lot of people are questioning it, where what economists were doing was doing a lot of soul searching and going to the core of their beliefs and saying, like, what does it really mean for Bitcoin to really have this value. Where's the value coming from? Is it coming from the fact that you can use Bitcoin as a medium of exchange? Well, they said that didn't work. That's not working very well, right? Because Bitcoin is very difficult to use at stores and all that. And a lot of store owners said we're not buying into any of this because the price is going up and down, up and down, up and down. I need stability in a currency that I use. If I don't see stability in the currency that you're asking me to use, I want to use a different currency. That's why in Venezuela, you can't use Venezuelan money for anything because they're like, this stuff might not be worth anything by the end of the day. Give me dollars because dollars are stable. You follow me? So as a medium of exchange, Bitcoin wasn't necessarily something that made sense economically. And then you go deeper into like, okay, is it something that has some intrinsic value? Well, it's not like a company. Well, with a company, you've got assets, you've got trucks and buildings and intellectual property rights that you can sell that actually have real value and revenue being generated from that company. But Bitcoin doesn't have any of that. You don't generate revenue just by owning Bitcoin. You just kind of own it, right? And you hope that the price goes up. So it becomes very speculative in nature, which makes people very, very nervous. So Bitcoin is still a mystery. I don't think that mystery is solved, but I do think that it's worth investing in because I believe in the blockchain technology. If you want to know what led me to invest in Bitcoin and crypto and all of that, it's because I believe in the blockchain technology, and that was pretty much it. I don't really know which currency is going to take off. I don't care. All I know is that the blockchain is here to stay. The blockchain is too smart, too good, too valuable to disappear. So the way I jumped in was I just put my money into a bunch of cryptos and said, well, whichever crypto wins is going to win. But either way, I'm in this game to stay. Last but not least, hit the thumbs up button, please. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. And also, I want to let you guys know if you're watching this video on May 12th, today's the last day to get 75% off of our wealth building program for children. If you have children and you want them to benefit from going to college at the age of 9 or 10 or 11 or however old they are in the Black Business School, we really want to educate your child. We hope that you'll trust us with this chance to put your child ahead of the curve. We basically, I took everything I've been teaching college students for 25 years, chopped it down to where it can become economic baby food so that our children can try this economic baby food at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and be ahead of the curve. This is a part of what I call Project 2070, where I believe that if we teach financial literacy in a specific way in our community, by 2070, Black people can be the most economically intelligent, economically literate people on the planet. That's my long-term vision, and this plan is part of that vision. So if you're interested in taking advantage of the discount, you can visit blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. And of course, we have our financial flashcards and workbooks for children at financialworkbooks.com and financialflashcards.com. So anyway, let me hop in here real quick. Let's see here. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so there is this trade war, and China and Trump is tweeting on the trade war. The trade war has been massive in market volatility. If you've been following stocks this week, how many of you saw your stock portfolio take an ass whooping because of the trade war? Anybody see their stocks go up and down, up and down, up and down, and all kinds of chaos? If you did, let me know. Let me know if you're an investor and you're seeing. Larry Hurt says yes, me, absolutely. So here's what the deal is. I'm going to read some of Trump's most recent tweets. I'm going to read them in backward chronological order because he tweets so crazy and you never know what he's trying to say. He says China is dreaming that Sleepy Joe Biden or any of the others gets elected in 2020. They love ripping off America. And this is in conjunction with another tweet that Trump made earlier, where he said that the Chinese are basically hoping the Democrats are in office because he argues that the Democrats are not as tough at negotiating as the Chinese. Now, here's what I'm going to say as a financial expert myself, or a person with a background in that area. I agree with Trump on this. I think that Trump, now do I agree with the tactics? No. Do I agree that Trump's the best for the office in terms of being president? No, I don't think so. I think there are better people, even better Republicans that could do a better job. But he is a tough negotiator. He is a guy that's not afraid to pull your trump card. He's a guy that's not afraid to play chicken with you. He's a guy that's not afraid to issue a credible threat. In fact, I think Black people, I dare say that Black people can learn a little bit from the negotiating style that he has, because what he basically does in terms of strategy, and I know this because I'm a really good poker player, and anybody else that plays poker understands poker is a game of math, psychology, and strategy. And one thing about poker is you can't be scared. You can't be scared of the outcome. You can't be scared to go down. You can't be scared to die. You can't be scared to lose it all. So why? Well, because the way you get people to move in a negotiation is you must let them know that you ain't scared to squeeze the trigger. You ain't scared to let the whole world blow up. Now, if you're president of the United States, that's a scary thing because he really could blow up the world, right? That's why maybe he's not the best president. But one thing about him is he's basically said, okay, let's do this. Let's do the trade war. I'll issue tariffs. You'll retaliate. I'll do more tariffs. You'll retaliate, and we'll just see where this goes. And what Trump is banking on, and I don't know if this is the right calculation or not. I think it could be actually. He's banking on the fact that right now he's got more political capital to work with than the Chinese. The U.S. economy has, and Trump is right about this fact. He is. To his credit. Unemployment is lower than it's been in 50 years. Economic growth is incredibly high. It's going to be really hard for the Democrats to get him out of office. So basically what he's saying to China is, what? Okay, you want to do this? All right, well, I'm going to be here. Okay, I'm waiting, right? And the problem is, though, that I don't think the Chinese are going to, fold easily. They want to save face. And so they're going to retaliate. But my guess is that the retaliation is going to leave the door open for negotiation where they will compromise with him without necessarily making themselves look bad. I really believe that the Chinese don't like Donald Trump because he negotiates the way they do, in the sense that he gives zero shits about freedom, liberty, and fairness. He's just kind of like, I'm going to win. My team is going to win. And whereas the Democrats and the liberals, if you remember, they signed a lot of trade deals that were very bad for the American people. While they claim to sort of support and advocate for the American worker, deals like NAFTA and things like that were terrible for workers. Also, you talk about the, like the deals they have with China. We've run a massive trade deficit with China for many years. And they just sort of let it go because they're scared to go to war. They don't want to really fight the Chinese economically. So one of the things and that's always bothered me. I've always wondered, like, why are they not negotiating more firmly with the Chinese? The Chinese, they just don't care. They do powernomics to the nth degree. They protect their own. They take care of their own economy. They put China first. For example, you can go anywhere throughout the world. I've been all around the world, and everywhere I go, I see Facebook. But when I go to China, there is no Facebook. They won't allow it. Everywhere in the world that I go, I can catch an Uber in Europe. I can catch an Uber in South America. I can catch Ubers anywhere, pretty much. But I can't catch Ubers in China because China said, no, you're not going to come to our country and suck up our money. And if you read Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, he refers to a concept referred to as the doctrine of unequal exchange. And the doctrine of unequal exchange is built on this idea that we're going to trade. We're going to play this trading game, but whenever I trade with you, I'm going to get more out of you than you're going to get out of me. And so the reason white folks gained so much economic power is they engaged in the doctrine of unequal exchange against Africans, and they gave them some things that had no value, and the Africans gave them things that had tremendous value. And so the Americans pretty much have done the same thing, the doctrine of unequal exchange with the country of China. The Chinese have kicked America's butt in the trade wars. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know how it's going to work. I know that if you have a portfolio, you probably lost some money because of this. I believe in the long-term viability of the U.S. economy. So when I see the dips, I just keep buying into the dips. But just investing in general is a good life strategy economically. You don't want to be out here not investing, because if you don't invest, you don't have an investment vehicle. If you think of wealth, all wealth is, here's what wealth is. All wealth is it's an accumulation process. It's just like driving down a road. Whoever drives the furthest down the road has the most wealth, right? And if you think about driving down the road, the way you drive down the road is you need a vehicle, right? So if you want to go faster, you get a faster vehicle. You don't try to walk down the road. You drive down the road. You fly down the road. You run down the road. You ride your bike down the road. You need a vehicle. The faster your vehicle, the further you go down the road. So the same thing is true with wealth building. Those who have the best investment vehicles tend to have the most wealth. So investing in the stock market is an investment vehicle that wealthy people utilize, and they have, that most regular people do not have. And that explains why rich people have more money and the rich keep getting richer. And it seems like the gap between the rich and the poor keeps growing. That's a big chunk of the reason for the wealth gap. The reason for the wealth gap between blacks and whites is that black people are being hammered by student loan debt. We already don't have much of an inheritance to lean on. But then on top of that, we're not picking investment vehicles. So they're moving down the road at 180 miles an hour. We're walking down the road because that's what grandma told us to do. So I'm telling you that you needed a better investment vehicle. So investing even bad investing is better than not investing at all, right? Because if you're just spending all your money, then you're going to lose the economic game. So don't just spend all your money. If you want to get a book like Powernomics, feel free to go to drboycebooks.com. Everybody should have Powernomics in their library at home. This is the most important book ever written in the history of Black America, in my opinion. Powernomics, very important. Play Powernomics with your family and you will win. And also a reminder to everybody, on Malcolm X's birthday, my book Black American Money comes out May 19th, and this is the book. It's 430 pages, and they got the Harriet Tubman $20 bills on here, and this is Black American Money 3. This is the third installment of the Black American Money series. 1 and 2 are also available at drboycebooks.com, so if you'd like to check that out, feel free. On May 19th, I will be signing copies of that book in Philadelphia as well. If you happen to be in Philadelphia and you want to come to the investment seminar that I'm hosting there in Philadelphia, go to drboycephiladelphia.com. That's drboycephiladelphia.com. If you are, because you're family, if you want a discount, you want to get 50% off the seminar, use the code word Philly when you go buy your ticket. Use the code word Philly and you'll get 50% off your pass. If you don't live in Philly and you want to still participate in the seminar, we have a 7-week version of that same seminar. You can actually go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. So we'll talk about little tricks that you don't learn in school, like how to build your own family bank, how to start a business with no money, little things like that relate to, how to make sure your child is a millionaire. And these are all based on calculations I put together, theories I put together, models I've designed specifically to solve one important problem, which is the Black economic and Black wealth problem in America. That's the number one thing that I'm trying to solve. Now, if you don't live in America, this applies to you as well. So I want to give much love to the people around the world who support what we're doing as well. So will the online be 50% off as well? You know what? Try it. I don't know if the code works, Second Life, for the online version, but try it and it might actually work. I think it's actually set up for all the stuff. But I'll go and try to see. So drboyceseminars.com. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. I'm gonna go watch get ready for Game of Thrones. I hope that this was beneficial to you as you look into what's going on in the markets. Pay attention. Pay attention. There's money floating all around you. You gotta be aware in order to grab it. So be financially woke. Don't be financially asleep, because if you are financially asleep, then all the good shit's going to happen while you're sleeping. Just remember that. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Thank you, Larry Hurt. Thank you, everybody else. I appreciate you very much. See you soon. Peace.